All right, 9.5 practice. So we're dealing with sine and cosine here. So again, we're just going to remind ourselves of so, ka, toa. So we already said that this is opposite over adjacent. Never hurts to refresh. O is opposite over hypotenuse. And a is adjacent over hypotenuse. So these are the only two that deal with the hypotenuse of a right triangle. Okay. So it says find sine D E and cosine of D and E. We don't do F because that's the right angle. So sine of D, angle D, sine of angle E, cosine of angle D, and cosine of angle E. I guess really I should move these down so I have room for the decimals. So we'll just do it like this. So sine of angle D, from D, opposite is 12, hypotenuse is 15, that's 12 over 15. And then we do our 12 divided by 15. Which is 0.8. In 4 places is going to be 8,000. All right. Cosine for D is going to be 9 over 12. No, sorry, 9 over 15. All right. And we're just going to do 9 divided by 15 and get 0.6. All right, looks like we're going to have some mood music in the background. So for sine of E, okay, from E, opposite is 9. And again, this doesn't change, 15. And 9 over 15 we already know is 0.6000. And here, cosine of E, well, from E, adjacent is 12 over 15. And we already know that that is 0.800. Okay, so the sine from D is the same as the cosine from E and vice versa. Okay, so number 6, we have the sine of angle D and the cosine of angle D. So the sine of angle D from D, opposite is 36, and the hypotenuse is 45. And this is just 27 over 45. Okay, so 30 divided by 45 is 0.6667, and 27 divided by 45 is just 0.6000. So these are going to be easy. Cosine of E sine of E. I got ahead of myself. Sine of E is the cosine of D, so 27 over 45. We already know what the decimal is. And cosine of E will be the 30 over 45. Because again, they just swap places, and we know that decimal as well. All right, number 9. What is the sine of 37? Write the expression in terms of cosine. So the sine of 37 is the cosine of 90 minus 37, or in other words, cosine of 53. And the sine of 29 is the cosine of 61, which is 90 minus 29. Same thing over here. Cosine of 59 is going to be the sine of 90 minus 59, or sine of 31. And this is going to be the sine of 90 minus 73, which is 17. All right, number 17. Find the value of each variable using sine and cosine. Round your answers to the nearest tenth. All right, so from here, right, remember, this is opposite, this is adjacent, and this is hypotenuse. So, sine and cosine. Okay, so sine, which is opposite of 32, will be x over 18. So again, all we need to do is multiply both sides by 18. All right, so we're going to multiply both sides by 18 and get x is 9.5. The cosine from 32 will be the adjacent over 18. Again, we multiply both sides by 18, and we find out that y is 15.3. Again, here it helps always lay everything out. This is our hypotenuse. From 71, w is the adjacent, and 5 is the hypotenuse. So, sine of 71 is, again, from 71, sine is opposite, so opposite is v over 5. So we're just going to multiply both sides by 5 with our calculator, and we get 4.7. To find w, we're going to use cosine because it is adjacent. So cosine of 71 equals w divided by 5. Again, multiply both sides by 5, and we find out that w is equal to 1.6. 21 from 48. Again, hypotenuse. From 48, this is opposite, and this is adjacent. So, sine of 48, which is the opposite angle, b over the hypotenuse, a. We can't do that. We don't know either one of those. So, using what we have, the adjacent, b or a, we need to find first. Okay? So, adjacent over hypotenuse is cosine. So we're going to say cosine of 48 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. This is one where we switch these. A is equal to 10 divided by cosine of 48. We type that in our calculator, and we get A is 14.9. Now that we know 14.9, we can actually go back and solve this problem. We're just going to plug 14.9 in there and say sine of 48 is b over 14.9 and then we multiply both sides by 14.9 and we find out b is 11.1. Now, another thing we could have done from the previous lesson, we could have said tangent of 48 is b over 10 because we had the adjacent side. So that was another option. All right, number 27. All right, so from the angle, we have the opposite side, 12. We're trying to find the hypotenuse, so that's opposite over hypotenuse, that's sine. So sine of 53 is opposite over hypotenuse. Again, these get switched, so we're just going to type in our calculator, 12 divided by sine of 53, and we find out that we are talking about 15 feet. All right, 29. Helps draw a picture. It's a horrible picture. We have a kite in the air, and we have somebody right here, okay, and they're flying the kite. They are 5 feet tall, okay? Now they let out 20 feet of string, and we're trying to find out this and also the distance to the ground, which we'll use that to find the distance to the ground. So this angle we know is 67 degrees. So this is opposite, this is hypotenuse. So we're going to do sine of 67 is equal to x over 20. Just type in 20 times sine of 67, and we find out x is 18.41 feet. Whoops, 41, not 14. 18.41 feet. That's here. But we have to add 5 onto that to find out how far off the ground it is. So that's 23.41 feet. And now just quick review. Okay, most important part is C here. So 6 squared plus x squared equals 10 squared. So that's 36 plus x squared equals 100. X squared equals 64. Square root both sides. X is 8. So that's a yes. 6, 8, 10, which is just a multiple of 3, 4, 5. Now this one, our hypotenuse is here. So that's 27 squared plus 36 squared equals c squared. So that ends up being 2025. Whoops, not squared. That'd be huge. Equals c squared. Square root both sides. And we get c is 45. So that is also a yes. That's it.